Well, good morning, church. One of our associate pastors used a passage from Isaiah months ago, or from Hosea rather, months ago, and I kind of did a little dive into it while he was teaching on it, and then triggered me for a couple of thoughts here. So today and tomorrow we'll look at those. It says, when Ephraim, Hosea 13, when Ephraim spoke, there was trembling. He exalted himself in Israel, but through Balaam he did wrong and died. And now they, the Israelites, sin more and more. They make for themselves molten images, idols skillfully made from their silver, all of them the work of craftsmen. They say of them, quote, let the men who sacrifice kiss the calves that they've made, these idols. Therefore they will be like the morning cloud and the dew which soon disappears, like chaff which is blown away from the threshing floor, and like the smoke from a chimney. So Ephraim, the son of Jacob, when he lived in humility, honoring God as a leader, when he spoke, there was trembling. In other words, the truth that he spoke from, the good place that he spoke from as a godly leader, had an effect on the speaker and the hearer. He trembled before God, and his words of truth helped others tremble before God as well. There's trembling, but soon he turned to Baal, which is the prophet is reminding them that they turned over to idolatry. And it just simply says he turned to Baal, he turned to idolatry, did wrong, and died. Think about that. Turned to idolatry, did wrong, and died. And then God goes on to explain that the sin that he started grew and multiplied. They sinned more and more. Idolatry, they kept making these images, more and more of them. Pretty soon they had a phrase that went with when they made them, let the men who sacrifice kiss the calves. But the idea is that idolatry leads to more idolatry. Listen to me. If you fall into the snare of idolatry, it will always lead to more idolatry. If you idolize just an object, let's just take something simple as an object, not a person, but an object. You really got to have this phone, or you really got to have this new piece of jewelry. You really got to have this kind of car or these kind of earbuds, whatever it is you're idolizing and you're putting in a very lofty, exalted place in your life. Soon as you get that, you want more, and you want the next cool thing, the next big thing. Idolatry always leads to more idolatry, which is what this passage says, but this passage is very blunt. The golden images in Israel abounded, and it says, but through Baal he did wrong, through idolatry he did wrong, and he died. Then God goes on to finish it out by saying this. Here's the results of idolatry. Verse 3, therefore they'll be like the morning cloud and the dew which soon disappears, like chaff which is blown away from the threshing floor, and like smoke from a chimney. In other words, they're a vapor. They're gone. Their life of idolatry benefits them nothing, and their life ends worthlessly. David says in Psalm 1 that the righteous man is like a tree. He bears much fruit, and his life is full of fruitful, life-giving energy, and he avoids wicked counsel and sinful pathways. Psalm 1, 1 through 3. But when he gets to verse 4, it says, but the wicked are not so. They are like the chaff which the wind drives away, the skin of a peanut, if you want to think of what chaff looks like, which is so easily driven by the wind. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. There is an end to idolatry and wickedness and foolishness. If you spend your life working toward the wrong stuff, your life ends perishing in separation from God. According to this passage, you're blown away, and it means nothing like smoke from a chimney. Your life means nothing. But you could be a righteous man as well, and you could have the righteousness. And I want to talk to you tomorrow about the rest of this passage, but I pray that you will use this to minister to others today, to make sure their life is not bound up in idolatry, chasing all the wrong things. Be blessed, and we'll see you back tomorrow.